Oh, hello, and thank you so much for clicking on my video from the bottom of my heart. You're the best. Today, we're celebrating a milestone, 100 subscribers and 100,000 views. We're coming up on it. Probably we'll reach it today. So I just emailed my boss. I'm going to be quitting my full-time job and then doing YouTube full-time is the plan. Just kidding. We're doing a 10-minute game of chess. I'm going to teach you everything that I know about chess in one game. This is the bishop's opening. What we're really hoping for is his bishop coming out here. In either line, this is preferable for me. Now, let's see how well I actually know this. We are applying pressure here. We are going to be threatening checkmate. There's a lot of things, but not the worst move, but the most common move is this, where we're going to throw this knight and tickle the queen. The queen comes down and gives us this check. I think I probably even had this exact line in another video. And so what is the best? So we scoot over. It's quite scary because this is checkmate, but we are luckily defended by this bishop. This pawn push does not work because we're just going to slide on in. Or you can even do the boomerang effect. So if he attacks us, we attack the queen. If he... Wait a minute. We would be ahead. He goes here. We go here. He takes our queen. We take here. He takes us. So let's see. I don't face this move a whole heckin' lot. I think we start by just taking this. Then we're threatening all sorts of things. Correct? So we're just going to do that. I know that this is the correct move in a lot of different lines, but this basically just opens up a huge avenue of attack for us, and we are maintaining the grip right here. And so now our queen is no longer being attacked. Fairly certain that this is just check, and you can't really take back. And then we're going to grab the rook. Then the rook is undefended by the knight, and I think our opponent is just falling apart at this point. So we're going to hit him with this check. Don't know what he's going to do about that. If he scoots here, it's a check. If he scoots over, then it's not checkmate, but it's going to be real bad for you, buddy. And then also, underneath it all, we're threatening checkmate right here. So let's think about this for a second. What's better? Check here. He runs here. For simplicity's sake, I might hit him with this check. He's going to want to stay hanging onto this pawn, because if he doesn't, then I'm going to slide on in. But let's think about this for a second. Check. Only move is this. That's not going to work. What am I even thinking about? Let's just play it simple and just grab this rook. Nice and simple. If he comes back here, I might put my rook back over here. I can also take this basically at any point because it's only defended by the queen. And we have a +8 advantage. So I have 8 minutes and 8 points of material on our opponent. So he scoots back. What we can do now is just force the queen trade. I quite like that idea. This check isn't going to work. What about this? Trading off the queens seems like a kind of like a loser way to win this game, because obviously I want to checkmate our opponent. That's what we really want. But I can force the queen trade. So let's think about this for a second. I can also attack the queen. Then the queen goes here. So unfortunately, I am just going to trade the queens. I'm up so much material that I'm just going to mop this up. And so this is just an excellent line. I don't even know what this line is called, but it's an excellent line that if you play the bishop's opening, or even is it the Italian game? You need to know this line, because all the way back on like move 5 or something, he needs to scoot the king over, which nobody wants to do, so nobody plays it. But the best move is to scoot the king over to defend the pawn. And then it's a more or less equal position, but he has lost the right to castle. So I don't know what he's thinking about too much. If I could just trade you this way, if you scoot over, then I'm coming in with this check. And then you scoot over, then I scoot back with check. It's going to be all bad. I could even scoot back this way with a check. He might just resign. That might be the correct thing to do in this situation. And so if it does, then we'll kind of go through the opening with the computer together, and we'll learn how to do this even better. Because I actually don't know. One line that can get pretty crazy is they go for this light square bishop. And the light square bishop is crucial in my position, because for one, it's attacking his weakest square, and then it is defending my weakest square. So my bishop on this square is playing a huge role in the attack and defense of this, because this is just straight up checkmate. Straight up checkmate if this bishop's not here. And obviously the queen not on this file. I just put the queen on this file to trade. But I could not tell you how many games I win with this line. I made a short, I believe, where sometimes it doesn't end in checkmate. It just ends with like winning a bunch of material, and that's good enough. If you're somewhat halfway decent at chess, if you can get up a rook or something, like, you're going to just win the game. And so you can just like slow play it, until the end game, and then you're just going to win. So I'm not really sure. His options are trade or scoot over. If he scoots over, I come in with a check. He would then scoot here, right? I feel like this check is the right idea here. His only move is to scoot here. And I might not have... I don't know if I have enough stuff here to actually like execute this properly. Check here. That's not going to work because it's covered by the bishop. Okay, so he just resigns. Fair enough. I don't know what else he was going to do. I think I could go for this check and then the queen trade, and I'd still probably be fine. Or I can just completely play it safe and just trade the queens. Trade the queens. Bishop comes in. Probably I attack your bishop. Your bishop's going to probably go back to where it was. And I might even make like a little square to get my bishop out of here, get my knight back into the action. And so let's check this with the computer. 100 subscribers, and we're just out here slaughtering these 1833s. So I'll see you over there. And here we are in the analysis. And unfortunately, our opponent succumbed to a simple opening trap that he did not know too well. And I knew it in and out. And so 0 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, 92% accurate. You can basically see I'm destroying him the entire game. And what a large disparity in accuracy. I'm 92% and he is 65. It's like every move he made was a blunder. Just kidding, but it was pretty bad. And so I'm going to go through this a little bit quickly. I think I've had another video that even explains this, but it's useful to know. I play the bishop's opening because when you have e4, e5, it's not the least popular, but it's played like 10% of the time, okay? Normally you see the knights come out, and there's so many different things you can do. The bishop coming out is not super popular, so people aren't 100% prepared for it. There's a few different lines here, but let's just go straight into the one that obviously that we had in the game. And so the queen comes out here. The best move is to defend your weak pawn with the king. You can even push, and it's not that bad. So the reason people don't want to push because the dark bishop's already out here, and they're not going to be able to fanshadow it really anymore. So they don't want to push the pawn, and nobody wants to move their king and not be able to castle and just give up the right to castle for no reason. So this is the obvious move that makes the most amount of sense. It defends your weakness, and it attacks our weakness that is super weak, actually. What's a little bit unfortunate is we hop right in, and we basically say, come on, bro, do it. And he comes through. We step over. I was a little quick. We step over. And again, the king needs to step over to defend this. And that is played. Oh my goodness. I got to let you know. Only 10% of the time. So if you get this position, there is a good chance they do not play it. And every other move is bad, basically. That is the only good move. So one thing that you want to do in chess is put your opponent in a position where there's only one good move on the board. If they're in a position where they can make 3 moves and they're all okay, chances are they're going to make them. So in this situation, we really narrow it down between the queen coming out here to defend is not necessarily a blunder, but it's going to lead into another situation where they're going to have to make a choice. And if they choose wrong, oh boy, you saw what happened in the game. This leaves this square is undefended, and we slide in. And so, fortunately, we're still defending this because this could be a little bit scary, but we're basically doing the same thing to him on the other side of the board. And so, what he's supposed to do here is just completely give up this rook and be down a rook. And he's completely losing. He chose not to play this, which walks directly into this fork. It's saying to take it with the queen. He scoots over. We hit him with another check. He scoots back into the corner scared, and then cutting off the queen being able to defend this would have been the best move, but the simplest is just trade the queens. And he didn't want to do that, so we could have boom, boom. I'm even seeing this maybe. Oh, no. Then we would cut him off, okay? So we'd go check here, and then we cut the queen off, and the queen can no longer defend. And you are in a bad, bad situation, my friend. And the only moves here are basically give up stuff, you know? Like you can try and defend here, but I'm going to take. And then if you want to take back, you're going to lose. So you would come over here and just give. You're lost. You're lost, completely lost. And so if I was able to find it right there, I would be able to find it in the game. And so this line is so venomous. So many people, because it breaks a lot of principles. Like, you don't want to do this. That weakens all these dark squares, and your dark square bishop's over here. You don't want to move the king because then you can't castle. So many people, you saw this guy is rated 1833 and he doesn't know this. And so free elo for knowing this opening. Let's hop into one more quick line. You get e4, e5, bishop c4. I'm trying to learn these coordinates a little bit better. And if the bishop comes out here, you throw this pawn in their face. And this is another situation where it's a 50-50 coin toss, basically, where you got to know the opening. And if they don't, they can be in trouble. Nobody wants to do this because you're basically just going to get hit with stuff, and it's sort of being attacked, and we can undermine that defense. And a lot of people don't want to bring the bishop in. So what they do is they take with the pawn. You're able to sacrifice here. It's not a real sacrifice because you're going to hop over here with a check. They block, and we grab the bishop. And there's so many different things that can happen in this line. For one, this pawn is hanging. If the queen ever leaves, then this pawn is hanging. If we scoot over here, like say they come out and we take, the queen needs to keep guarding all this stuff because it can get spooky real quick. So they come out and hit us. We scoot back. I feel like this is a scary move for a player to actually play. Like, we're going to break open the center. I feel like at this point we would maybe even push this pawn. I guess not. But there's so many different things that can happen. Long story short, you don't need to know all of them. The most important thing is bishop's opening. The bishop comes out. You hit him with the pawn. If they take with the pawn, boom, boom, boom. They block. You take. And it's an equal-ish position. You're winning by a little bit, but he can't castle. His king is very weak. You can even do something like this where you just pin the knight and then, like, say he does something like this. We're just going to get ready to just trade everything off. You can literally just trade everything. His king is in the middle of the board. You're ready to castle. And it's a hard to play position for the opponent. So that's one way you can do it very simply. If you don't want to try and go for a checkmate, just grab a pawn and trade everything off. And so I've done that many times. And so can we see how many times I've had this position? I've had it once, but this account is quite young. So Either way, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I hope this inspires you to play the Bishop's Opening. It's basically all I play. This and the Caro Kann. C6 and the Bishop's Opening. And then if they hit me with something else, like where I can't play the Bishop's Opening, like if they play e4, e5, we play the Bishop's Opening. If they play something else, obviously we play something else. But either way, 100 subscribers, you guys are absolute legends. Everybody that comments and actually is going back to my channel and watching other videos, and you guys are the best. It's been so much fun putting these videos together for you guys. So I'll look forward to seeing you again. Happy New Year, and don't forget to subscribe.